Hello again there, YouTube fans. This is the real Creepy Dollman here. I'm back with an all-new episode. It is October the 2nd of 2018. Time is now 5:13 a.m. We're back to tell the final conclusion to the real Creepy Dollman from Louisville, Kentucky tells another true tale of the house. Part 4 begins now. Okay, as I found out, like I said earlier, I talked to Tommy, and he told me recently, just last year, that he said 40 people died within his very house. And it kind of shocked me. I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Are you lying to me? Are you joking?" And they said, "No. 40 people has died in his house." Different people lived here before that. They had some black people living here, and white people living here that passed on. And some other people. We do not know who all lived in his house, nor do we know who died. But later down the road, I found out some other little pieces of the puzzle that I put together when I talked to Tommy. I just talked to him recently, just a few days ago. This is a very shocker. But before we get into that, I'll explain when I brought these dolls in next, which was actor Sissy brought us this stuff back on in June the 4th of 2016, which I received Cheyenne the Haunted Doll for the very first time. And weird stuff has been going on with these dolls. All of them. And I have said it many times, and a lot of people don't believe me until you see the videos that I have shown here on YouTube. A lot of people don't believe that to this very day, if they're true or if they're false. And I tell them that this is not a fake, this is not a hoax. This is actually for real. Everything you see or hear, if there's any, thing that you might have heard in one of my videos, is true. But I do not have a way to tell you that these little guys are real, because I do not have a K2 meter to prove it. But, that they do exist. And after that, I've been having a lot of weird activity going on with these dolls. My haunted and possessed dolls, as well as my cursed doll. I've been only have one cursed doll the whole set. And I've been having other weird activity going on with the dolls. But there's other spirits within his house that is now attached to everything within his very room, which is my bedroom. Why they like this room is because I found out something about this room. This recently, September the 29th of 2018, when I went out to play pool again with Tommy after this week, which was a couple days ago, that I found out the truth that when he was living here with his girlfriend, which before he married her, which became his wife, was Deanna, her and her sisters Roxy and Gidget play with the Ouija board. I asked that question, did they play with a Ouija board here? He said, yes, indeed. Deanna, Gidget, and Roxanne play with the Ouija board in his very room that I'm in right now, that you see I'm in. That they had played with the Ouija board within my very own bedroom. This was actually Roxanne's bedroom at the time. I didn't know that, I think it was his sister-in-law. And I don't know where Gidget was sleeping, but this was Roxanne's room, I found out. And his room, Tommy's room, was actually my sister's old bedroom. And I think that's where Deanna was sleeping with at the time. Miss Cheeks used to live here too, which was their mother. And he said Floyd used to live next door to them before he moved out. And, I found out that they had, in fact, they probably have opened the door that has been open for a short time and closed because no paranormal activity in a while since they played with the Ouija board until we had moved in here. And some weird stuff started to happen before the dolls came in. And now when the dolls came in, all this ordeal has gotten weirder and crazier because of them. But, after he told me that, a few days ago. I was surprised. That was the missing piece of the puzzle that I now know that was the truth. That why this house is like it is. People today probably wouldn't believe me if I told them that this house may be either haunted or even possessed by demonic spirits. We don't know. But unless I bring in, a psychic team in here to prove, that theory, there's no guarantee. Or bringing in even a ghost hunting, expedition in here. There's no way to prove that this house could be haunted. Unless somebody knows that it's 100% haunted. And I can't tell you this today if it is. I don't know if the dolls are doing it. Or could it be that they were here before the dolls came in. And, it's been causing this trouble. But since I have all these little guys and girls, they all been acted. And it's like this 365 days out of the year they're acted. And I can tell you they're acted every night. When I'm in bed, you can hear them moving around on their stands. If you were in this very room, you would flip out in the dark, hearing them move around. I'm so used to it now, it don't bother me. But, people don't believe that. I tell them that this stuff is real. That God is for real. If you know there's a God, then you know there's a Satan. And if there's a Satan, there's angels and demons. And a lot of people don't believe that to this very day. I tell them that I do have real haunted and possessed dolls. But could it be just more than haunted possessed dolls? Could it be actually there are entities that live in this house that are not human? I have no guarantee unless, like I said, a psychic or even ghost hunters come here to check it out. I cannot prove it. And, until this very day, until someone comes along to prove me wrong, they'll have to see. But, I've been telling everybody that, and I've been facing with this ordeal. Now, I have a lot of things that's gone wrong in my life. Different from my sister when I moved here. A lot of health problems. I remember I had changed in my hairstyle. I used to have longer hair back then. But, it's been happening that I remember some good times and some bad times. Sometimes I can't remember the good times or bad times because I either block it out or don't want to remember. Or maybe because something in his house is holding me back to not to remember the good or bad times sometimes. Could it be a strong, entity within his house? Could we have poltergeist in this house? Could we have something in this house that's, affecting not just me, but my sister, my mother, when they were living here at the time, and Mr. Ritchie. Now, I can tell you my younger sister, Rebecca, moved out a long time ago. After she moved out, weird things stopped happening. But we thought it would stop until the dolls came in and all this started up again. But are they still active this very day? Yes. I can tell you everything is true. If I had a K2 meter, I would prove that these things do exist. But since I can't afford it because I have no income, because of my health, and I have difficulties, finding a job, but if I have my ulcer colitis acting up on me and me bleeding, they will not, keep a person like that in the place of business. So, it's kind of hard for me to find a job. I can't lie about that my health has gotten worse. It has gotten worse in the last 2 weeks that I thought it would have been all right. 3 weeks ago before this, I started bleeding again. And so that's kind of peculiar that I found out that the problems are still going on with my family, that they get me to a stress level of this high instead of this high because I'm starting to bleed again. And yes, I'm starting to have my ulcer colitis and Crohn's act up. It's like, it's coming back with a vengeance and taking over. Could it be something in the house that's causing that? Like I said, I can't know what's going on unless this house could be investigated. That proof will exist today. If someone would, come in and investigate this house, it would probably leave my mind at ease. And maybe I'll probably have a more easier deal because I can tell you, every night I have trouble sleeping. And I don't sleep well in this house like I used to. And since I brought them in, I have less sleep than I had before. And I don't know, it's a sleep is a sleep insomnia, or could it be something else? Or could it be one of my medicines causing the side effect? I don't know. But whatever's causing the problem, I still have this problem this very day. And I have no fear because I have been multiple attacked by these things. And I still exist to tell you the tale that is not a tale. It is a true story. And people just have to, you have to either believe or don't believe. You be there to be the judge. Because the real creepy doll man does not judge this stuff. Since I am that close with God, and about nearly have my own deathbed within this very room. So maybe I'm closer to God than everybody else say I'm not, because there's something going on. So whatever's going on, it'll probably continue to this very day, till the day I die. And that is the final conclusion to the real creepy doll man from Louisville, Kentucky tells his true tale. Please watch for new episodes that come from Real Creepy Doll Man pretty soon, whenever that will be. Now I say to all the YouTube fans and all the diehard Real Creepy Doll Man fans, goodbye, and God bless you all.